for joining us. We're here to discuss Greece as a cybersecurity hub, insights from the case of NVISO. NVISO is one of Europe's leading cybersecurity firms, based in Belgium, but has opened up operations here in Greece. And it is my pleasure to introduce its Chief Operating Officer, Jan de Blauwe. And next to him is Eliades, who's one of the senior investment promotion officers of Enterprise Greece, who was also instrumental in bringing NVISO here. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, thank you very much. Gentlemen, it's a particular pleasure to discuss all this in person. We've had the chance to speak over the phone. And because this is an opportunity to showcase a little bit of Greece, I mean, this was some of the earlier panels were discussing the advantages Greece had. Jan, can you tell us a little bit what made you choose Greece? What is it that NVISO saw as an opportunity here in Greece?
Absolutely, and by the way, thank you for having me in this exciting panel. Let me already say that when we made the decision about now 2.5 years ago, we've not regretted it since. We're extremely happy to invest in Greece, to create jobs here. But in response to your question, so NVISO is indeed a cybersecurity company. That's the one thing that we do, and we think that we're very, very good at it. We also tend to grow very fast, and that actually was the trigger for us to look for new markets to establish an additional office. In that search for a good location to establish ourselves, we took a look at a variety of criteria. One was, of course, the availability of infrastructure in the broad sense of the word, but definitely also high-speed internet bandwidth, evidently. Availability of good talent pools, universities, educational programs. We are in the knowledge industry, so we need graduates, undergraduates, people with a bachelor or master degree who have a strong education in cybersecurity. And we were quite impressed by the variety and diversity of universities and academic programs here in Greece. We also looked for countries where there was a stable regulatory and business-friendly legal framework, indeed. Tax incentives, though that was not the main driver for us. But then very specifically, and linked to our nature of our business, we were looking for a labor law which was accommodating to so-called 24/7 operating. So part of our business is in monitoring of systems 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And this requires employing people not just during business hours, but also after hours, evenings, weekends. And the Greek labor law was very precise on this, on how to organize this, and that was a big plus. So
you'd also mentioned the fact, I'm going to jump out of sequence here a little bit, that the fact that Greece is a European Union member was also a plus.
Absolutely. So NVISO, our mission is to be a European leader in cybersecurity. We have a lot of customers in sensitive areas, government-related activities, but also large banks. Data privacy, data confidentiality is very important for our customers. And that's why we wanted to indeed, we were looking for a country in Europe because of the GDPR, because of the attention that is given here to data privacy and confidentiality. So,
excellent, thank you very much. Elias, let me just ask you, so on behalf of Enterprise Greece, you were helpful to NVISO, but we've known each other for quite a while. Can you, for those who are not familiar with Enterprise Greece, can you say a little bit about what Enterprise Greece does, particularly to attract sort of tech companies here to Greece?
Yes, thank you, Alkman. First of all, let me point out that I'm pretty glad I'm sitting next to Jan and next to NVISO because it's one of our success stories. It's a matter of optimism to see new investments happening, especially in the technology sector. As Jan said, NVISO is a cybersecurity leader based in Belgium, in Austria, and Germany, and lately decided to expand into the Greek market for specific reasons. So, just for your information, to tell you a few things about Enterprise Greece, we are offering a set of integrated investment promotion services, focusing on specific things. Mainly, we operate, one could say, as the official gateway for doing business in Greece, or the one-stop shop service for Greece. We assist investors in site location, so we assist them in identifying potential land plots or options for establishing their presence in Greece. We explain the available investment incentive schemes, something that we did for NVISO. and the site location options. We offered several ideas and options for establishing its presence here. We inform on the necessary licenses, permits, and approvals needed in order to realize their investment, not only in the technology sector, but in every business sector that we're involved in. We have a set of priority industry sectors for investments in the country. Technology, of course, is one of them. We offer matchmaking services, which is one of our core services, which means that we are trying to bring in touch international investors with local entrepreneurs through the organization of trade and business missions abroad, or through very customized investment seminars around the world and around and in target markets where we believe Greece has the potential to attract investment. And last but not least, I would say that we have an active policy advocacy role. This is a very important thing, which means that we can suggest, we can propose to central government specific proposals, specific ideas of amending the existing legal framework for investments or creating new one in order to make the investment environment even more attractive.
Very good. Indeed, one of the things we've seen is that the Greek government has put a lot of emphasis on developing the technology sector. We heard the remarks by the minister earlier. The way I categorize it are the three sectors that are growing in Greece. There is startups, there is infrastructure, data centers, telecommunications cables, and there's also digitization of both the public sector, which has been very dramatic, and also, shall we say, of the private sector. There's been encouragement. Elias, can you just tell us, I realize the minister spoke to this a little bit, but what do you see as some of the major initiatives of the Greek government, or what do you, speaking now from the Greek government's perspective, how is it helping to promote technology and bring foreign investment here?
Okay. There are several initiatives taken by the Greek government. I will refer first to the Greece 2.0 program, the well-known National and Recovery Resilience Plan, which envisions the digitization, as you rightly said, of the public sector, the establishment of smart cities and the adoption of cutting-edge technologies in the areas of artificial intelligence, big data, and Internet of Things. This is one of the core initiatives taken by the Greek government, the Greece 2.0 program. Then we have Greece is investing heavily in data center development during the last 3 to 4 years. We have plenty of examples to present from large corporations that have already established a presence in Greece in data center development. With this development, with data center development, Greece tries to position itself as a regional leader in the area in cloud computing and data storage. The other important thing is that we invest heavily, the Greek government decided to invest heavily in developing further and expanding further the telecommunications infrastructure, and particularly the 5G network, which is very, very important as we understand, and plays a critical role on technological business activities. Another very important thing are the incentives available for especially research and development activities. And I will refer to the very generous and one of the most competitive incentive schemes on offer right now in Europe, I believe, because we have already did a benchmarking approach on that. I'm talking about the R&D tax super deduction, which means that R&D expenses realized by a company within a specific time period are deducted from its gross annual income, incremented by 100%, which is very, very competitive if you compare it with R&D incentives on offer from other countries, especially in the R&D sector. So this is another very important initiative. I will refer also on the initiatives taken for the financing of the startup ecosystem and the promotion of startups. Greece has launched significant initiatives to attract venture capital and private equity to support startups in Greece. And there is a a large number of incubators and accelerators operating in Greece right now to support early stage tech companies. And last but not least, I will refer to the defense modernization. The defense modernization, which means that defense modernization through the development of advanced technology, including artificial intelligence and cybersecurity, which is very, very important. These are more or less the key initiatives taken by the Greek government. We should not forget, of course, the operation of Elevate Greece, which is another very important tool for, especially for the startup ecosystem, because it offers mentoring and funding opportunities for startup companies. All these, let's say, constitute the initiatives taken by the Greek government in order to attract more investments in the tech sector in Greece.
Let me just ask, I was in Thessaloniki last week and asking some of the locals about Thessaloniki has very much become a hub for new R&D centers. And they're also beginning construction of a new science and technology park there, the ThesIntech. Do you have the feeling that Greece is on an upward path, Elias, that success is breeding success, more tech-oriented companies or R&D centers are being attracted, seeing the success of previous ventures?
Yes. Yes, I would say with a simple answer is yes. We are expecting more investments to come in the R&D sector in the Greek market. We've all experienced the entrance of big companies in the country during the last 4 to 5 years. You remember the very well-known investments from Microsoft, from Google, from Amazon, from big company names that enter the Greek market in order to expand their business activities in the area, and they are all invested, especially in the R&D. And of course, we should not forget also the entrance of Pfizer in Thessaloniki, which changed the whole, let's say, picture of a business environment outside Athens, which is very, very important. Yeah. Because they exploited the advantage of human capital, especially in the northern part of the country, exploiting the advantage of large universities like the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki and University of Macedonia.
Yeah, just following on that, because we discussed it, I don't want to prejudge your remarks, but you said that it's actually been better than expected, your sort of experience here in Greece. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Also, a little bit about the next steps, and particularly, I'd like you to mention the cybersecurity challenge that NVISO is launching next year.
With pleasure. So, indeed, when we took the decision to invest here in Greece, we make a business plan. That's what companies typically do. We made projections about our growth in the country, and the plan was to have about 65 employees, 65 by the end of 2025. Today, 2.5 years after we launched, we are already over 100 employees in Greece, almost double the plan, a year ahead of schedule. And we plan to keep adding to the employment here in Greece. So in that regard, it has been a tremendous success, far surpassing our wildest dreams indeed.
And you said that many of the workers have surprisingly, I don't mean to castigate Greek workers, but they surpassed expectations. There's a can-do attitude, there's high level of, shall we say, knowledge skills.
Yeah, we didn't know what to expect, but I must say that people are extremely professional, well-educated, dedicated, committed to the job, loyal. We also try to create a work environment which responds to needs of modern-day workers with a lot of flexible hours, work at home. And I guess that especially the young talents which we try to hire, they appreciate this. But yes, indeed, no complaints whatsoever about the Greek workforce. Very energetic and committed, eager to learn also, which is important because in our business, cyber is not a static thing. You need to keep up with the latest, and this is very much what those young talents want to do. They want to learn, and we invest a lot in actually the learning on the job, but also through formal learning programs of our employees. About next steps for NVISO, we, like I said, our ambition is to continue to be that European leader in cyber. We will develop the local business. We will establish a physical presence also in Thessaloniki. We have already 10 people employed there, but we plan to open an office there there as well.
And you have offices several places around the around Greece.
In Greece so far, we have offices, just one office here in Athens, but opening a second one in Thessaloniki in 2025. There's your scoop. And then, indeed, the cybersecurity challenge. Let me say a few words about that, and thank you for asking, Alkman. We very much believe that we have a responsibility towards the community in being a role model for young people who are still studying in a graduate program and considering a future, for instance, in cybersecurity. We believe that that cyber is a wonderful place to build a career in. Salaries are good. The job content is very attractive and dynamic. But what we notice, and I'm talking now about our experience in Belgium and Germany primarily, is that young people often don't know about what a job in cybersecurity would look like. And so what we do is we organize so-called capture the flag events. So these are our competitions for students. And they can come from a variety of backgrounds, but it's typically computer science or engineering or math or other fields of tech. And we bring them together so that they can get to know us and they can get to know each other. They can get to know the other sponsors of these events. But the purpose is really to show them that actually cyber or tech at large is a fantastic place to build a career and to encourage some of them to choose that career path in the future. And I would say actually in a broader sense for Greece to be successful in cyber, that community building is something which we see being very successful in other countries. I'm the chairman of a so-called cybersecurity coalition in Belgium. It's a 1,000 member body. It's a cooperation between government, academia, and private enterprise.
Right.
And through these networks, we build links between companies and the government, between universities and companies, and we can make sure that the academic programs are tailored to the needs of the industry, that the government indeed applies a business-friendly climate, that if there is a need, that we grow that community. And I think it's something which I very much believe in and would very happy help build here in Greece as well, that cyber ecosystem with different parties contributing to it.
Is there a similar coalition here in Greece? Pardon my ignorance, I don't know.
Not that I'm aware of, but again, I might be ignorant on the topic or too new to the field.
And the challenge is open to including other companies.
Yes. So we actually we invest a lot of our time and money in it, but it's very much a community thing. Our ambition is not it's not an NVISO thing. It's actually something that we do via a non-profit, but it's something which is open for the community. So anyone who would say I would like to be that role model, advertise my company, reach out to young professionals and help them choose a career in cyber, they're very welcome to join. They can contact me, and it's quite straightforward. We ourselves also contribute to other events. We just decided to sponsor the at NTUA, so here in Athens, the Technical University, we will sponsor a similar event to capture the flag, which is organized by the IEEE student body. Again, because we very much believe that these community things are an absolute necessity in the long run.
Well, this brings us to the next question. In the last few days, we've seen a number of, shall we say, cyber events or cyber manipulations in the elections in the surrounding region, Romania, Moldova, Georgia in the elections. I'm not an expert, but we were discussing this previously, that Greece has invested a bit in cybersecurity, and of course it is the headquarters for NISA, the European cybersecurity hub. Does Greece have a potential to be a cybersecurity hub for Europe, for the region?
I definitely think so. It's a matter of putting the pieces of the puzzle together and then sustaining the effort to build that, because it's something which will require a longer-term sustained effort for it to be realized. But there are some cornerstone elements that are present. There is the very strong support from Enterprise Greece, which we very much appreciate and which is very relevant and tangible. There are absolutely fantastic cybersecurity champions here in Greece. Hack the Box, maybe you don't know, but it's a top class, world-known company established here in Greece, and I think we'll hear from the founders later in one of the panels. So there are these champions or hidden champions that are already present. Strong universities, I would say, keep investing in programs adapted also to future needs. A digital society needs other type of profiles than maybe the traditional industrial or economic sectors. So science, technology, engineering, and math are absolutely very important in educational programs, but there is a long tradition and history in those fields, so I think Greece is well positioned. You mentioned ENISA. That is, for those of you who don't know it, but that's essentially the European body politic in cyber, with a strong research capacity also, based here in Greece. It attracts a lot of talent from all over Europe. Just the other week, I was speaking to a young, very promising, high potential guy in Belgium who actually is transferring to Greece to take a position at ENISA. But it's right here, it's happening here in Greece, and so by bringing together these elements, yes, I think that Greece has the potential to be that hub around cyber. But what will need to happen is for the system, for the ecosystem, for the community to come together and join forces. Otherwise, it risks staying isolated actions that won't add up to the full potential.
Let me just step back a little bit, because we have had these events and they are in the news, and I was a newsman by background. Do you think cybersecurity is a growing threat, a growing challenge facing everyone in Europe, not just Greece?
Unfortunately, it is. So the damage of cybersecurity is estimated to be about over 10 trillion, 10 trillion euros a year. That is, if you imagine that as a country, it is a very, very large country. That's twice the GDP of Germany, probably 15 to 20 times the gross domestic product of Greece. So 10 trillion is just an absolutely mind-boggling number. It's a number which grows much faster than our economies, so it's outpacing our economic growth. I'm a cyber optimist. It's a moral duty, I guess. But truth is it that sometimes you ask yourself, aren't we losing this battle against the bad guys, because they are very innovative. I have been working very closely to the fraud team in one of the largest Belgian banks previously, and it's absolutely amazing how creative the bad guys are. You think that you've caught them, and then the week after they will come up with another scheme. But it's a very serious problem. We should not laugh about it. It's a very serious problem. It erodes our economy. It erodes people's savings. There are companies that go bankrupt as a result. It erodes trust in our institutions. So it is an absolutely huge societal problem. And we also see it actually, and it's one of the extra elements, I think, which makes a career in cyber very attractive, which is that it is a job with very important societal impact. So not only is it a very interesting job, not only does it pay very well, you can do fantastic work. And by the way, you understood we are hiring, so if you're interested, come and see me afterwards. But it's also a job with very, it's a very meaningful job in the sense that it has huge societal impact. And then what I would maybe add is, and here I'm just talking for Belgium, but I see that there are a lot of similarities between Belgium and Greece. Your weather is absolutely, I mean, don't move to Belgium, stay where you are. I might do the opposite and just stay here as well. But no, the thing is, we have still so much education to do in Belgium in making sure that companies understand the risk. A lot of our companies in Belgium, and again, I don't know what the situation is here in Greece, but a lot of companies are a bit naive when it comes to cyber. It's a problem which will happen at the neighbor, but not at yourself. And unfortunately, companies pay a price for this. So awareness, and there's a role for government to help make sure that both citizens, but also companies, government administrations are very aware of the risks and take action.
If I may just follow up on that. Sorry, please.
If I may jump in and say that I think that NVISO's investment came at the right time in Greece. at a time where we need to build, let's say, a cybersecurity culture and cybersecurity business environment, because it's very crucial to protect your critical infrastructure. It's crucial to strengthen digital services, and to mitigate all risks related to potential cyber threats.
Yeah.
So it's very, very crucial that we have this kind of investments here, because NVISO is an already renowned company. So we know that by this type of investments, we protect our critical infrastructure
Indeed.
in every domain. I mean.
Very good. Dan, did you want to add anything?
I fully concur with what Elias mentioned. Yes.
One thing we were discussing in the corridor, I will say it so I don't put words in your mouth, plus we're running out of time. Speaking now as a Greek American, so I represent across the Atlantic, one does have the sense that here in Europe, the time has come for Europe to band together a little bit on terms of defense, security, a little bit industrialization. And I hope, for all our sakes, and for you two gentlemen, that the next sort of year ahead, or 2 or 3 years ahead, you might start to see a little bit greater integration here in Europe for our common defense and security. With that, I want to thank you both for joining me, and thank the audience for listening to us. We have a networking lunch now ahead, so please enjoy and unwind a little bit. Thank you very much.
Thank you.